In the name of Allah, who is the omnipotent and the omnipresent. Students, today I will be discussing very fundamental concepts of physics. So those are the building blocks, I must say. So today's concept is like we will be discussing about base quantities. Before going into detail, let me give you a brief description about base quantities. Base quantities are those quantities which are the building blocks of whole physics. These are also called fundamental quantities. So how many base quantities are there? So there are 7 base quantities. You must know 7 base quantities or base fundamental quantities, you can also say. Number first is length, and this is quantity. Since this is quantity and the unit of length is what? That is meter, and which is in short written as small m. Number 2, that is mass, and unit is kilogram, which is in short written as kg. Number 3, that is time, and its unit is second, which is written as small s. And number 4 is temperature. Its unit is Kelvin, and Kelvin is written as K. And number 5 is amount of substance. Its unit is mole. And number 6 is luminous intensity. And its unit is CD. In short, we can write it CD. It is called candela. And number 7 is electric current. And its unit is ampere, which is in short written as A. Now let me briefly describe these all, or give you a quick recap. So there are 7 base quantities. Number 1 is length, 2nd mass, number 3 is time, number 4 is temperature, number 5 is amount of substance, number 6 is luminous intensity, and number 6 is electric current. And you can also say like this: 7 base quantities or 7 base units. So these are the units. So why? Now I will be emphasizing in a very important concept. Why we choose these 3 units or these all units? For example, length has also meter, kilometer, right, and centimeter, millimeter. So why we choose meter? Why we choose kg for mass? Why we choose seconds for time? So why we choose Kelvin for temperature? So all the answer for this question is these all unit we have written are what? These are called SI units. Remember, this is very important concepts. So SI units are those units which are system international units. The whole universe measures these units in SI units. That is why we always remember the SI units in calculating the numericals, knowing the basic concepts. So now we will be discussing derived quantities. So let me define it in a single sentence. Derived quantities, those quantities which are taken from base quantities. Remember, so these derived quantities are basically, they are taken from these 7 base quantities. These do not have their own units, since these are taken from the base unit. For example, giving you an example, Number first is velocity. So the unit of velocity is meter per second. It can be also written as meter per second, like this. So remember how the unit of velocity has been made. It is made in a such a way, it is meter and per second, means it has been taken from the base unit. Like meter is a base unit, second is a base unit, since velocity is a derived unit in such a way that both the meter and second are taken from the base unit. Now giving you another example of derived quantity, force. Force has a unit Newton, and Newton is equal to, you must remember, kg meter per second square. So this means kg is also base unit, meter is also base unit, second is also base unit. In this way, these all units are taken from the base unit. That is why we call force as derived unit. Giving you another example, that is acceleration. Acceleration has a unit what? Meter per second square. So again here meter is meter is a base unit or base quantity, and second is a base unit. So since the unit of acceleration is meter per second square, again this is derived unit because it is taken from the base unit. So we are not supposed to go in detail of the derived quantities in number, because there are many, there are plenty of derived quantities. So we are supposed to know that how the derived quantities are taken from the base quantities. This concept is very important. Students, you must know this point in this moment, right? So now you have to remember these concepts in order to study physics in a better way.